The world watched with bated breath. White smoke billowed from the chimney atop the Sistine Chapel. A new era was dawning for the Catholic Church. Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle, a beacon of hope from the East, had been elected as the successor to Pope Francis. His ascension to the papacy was not a sudden surge of power, but rather the culmination of a life dedicated to service and a testament to his gentle yet resolute leadership. Tagle's election was a watershed moment, a seismic shift in the Church's long and storied history. For the first time, the papacy was entrusted to a son of Asia. This historic event carried profound implications for the world's 1.3 billion Catholics. It signaled a new era of inclusivity, a recognition of the global Church's diverse and vibrant tapestry. Tagle's journey to the papacy was one of humility and unwavering faith. It was a journey that began in the bustling streets of Manila and led him to the hallowed halls of the Vatican. His election was a testament to his unwavering commitment to the gospel message of love, compassion, and social justice. The world looked on with a mix of anticipation and hope. A new chapter was beginning, one that promised to reshape the Church's relationship with the modern world. Tagle's papacy held the promise of a more inclusive, compassionate, and outward-looking Church. The selection of a new pope is shrouded in tradition and secrecy. The papal conclave, a gathering of cardinals from around the world, convened within the Vatican's walls. They came together to discern God's will and elect the next leader of the Catholic Church. The weight of history rested upon their shoulders. Days turned into nights as the cardinals deliberated in prayer and reflection. The world waited anxiously for the white smoke that would signal a decision. Finally, on that crisp February day, the smoke billowed forth, announcing to the world that a new pope had been chosen. Cardinal Tagle's election was not merely a victory of votes, but a testament to his character. Known for his humility, his deep intellect, and his unwavering commitment to the poor and marginalized, he embodied the qualities that many yearned for in a leader. His election was met with thunderous applause from the faithful gathered in St. Peter's Square. The news reverberated around the globe, sparking celebrations from the Philippines to Argentina, a testament to the global reach of the Catholic Church and the hope that Tagle inspired. Luis Antonio Tagle's journey began in the Philippines, a nation deeply rooted in the Catholic faith. Born and raised in a devout family, his faith was nurtured from a young age. He witnessed firsthand the struggles of the poor and the marginalized, experiences that would profoundly shape his worldview and his ministry. Tagle's theological roots were deeply embedded in the soil of his homeland. He embraced the principles of liberation theology, which emphasizes the Church's role in advocating for social justice and empowering the oppressed. This theological perspective would become a cornerstone of his ministry, shaping his approach to leadership and his unwavering commitment to the poor. His time studying in Rome further enriched his understanding of the Church's universal mission. He immersed himself in the study of Scripture, history, and theology, honing his intellectual prowess and deepening his faith. Upon his return to the Philippines, he quickly rose through the ranks of the Church, serving as a parish priest, a seminary rector, and eventually as the Archbishop of Manila. In each role, he demonstrated his unwavering commitment to serving the needs of his people, particularly the poor and the marginalized. Cardinal Tagle's leadership style was characterized by humility, compassion, and a deep commitment to dialogue. He was known for his warm smile, his infectious laugh, and his ability to connect with people from all walks of life. He possessed a rare gift for listening, for truly hearing the hopes and struggles of those he served. His time as president of Caritas Internationalis, a global confederation of Catholic relief organizations, brought his leadership to the world stage. He traveled to some of the most impoverished and war-torn regions of the globe, offering comfort to the suffering and advocating for peace and justice. Tagle's leadership was not about wielding power, but about empowering others. He believed deeply in the inherent dignity of every human person and sought to create a church that was truly a home for all. He challenged the Church to move beyond its institutional walls and to encounter Christ in the faces of the poor, the marginalized, and the forgotten. His leadership style resonated deeply with people around the world. He was seen as a man of the people, a compassionate shepherd who understood the challenges of the modern world. His election as Pope signaled a renewed emphasis on the Church's social mission and its commitment to being a force for good in the world. A global tapestry of reactions. Cardinal Tagle's election as Pope sent shockwaves across the globe. From the bustling streets of Manila to the hallowed halls of the Vatican, reactions were a mixture of excitement, anticipation, and apprehension. In the Philippines, a wave of jubilation swept across the nation. Churches erupted in cheers, tears of joy streamed down faces, and spontaneous celebrations broke out in homes and public squares. Tagle's election was a source of immense pride for the Filipino people, a testament to the vibrancy of their faith and their contribution to the global church. Across Asia, his election was met with a sense of hope. Many saw his ascension as a sign that the church was truly becoming a global family, recognizing the contributions and experiences of all its members. However, not all reactions were uniformly positive. Some traditionalists within the church expressed concerns about Tagle's perceived progressive views on issues such as divorce and homosexuality. They worried that his papacy might lead to a departure from traditional church teachings. Despite these concerns, there was a palpable sense of excitement among many Catholics, particularly among young people, who saw in Tagle a leader who understood their struggles and who was willing to engage with the challenges of the modern world, charting a course for the future. As Pope, Tagle faced the daunting task of leading the Catholic Church into uncharted waters. The world had changed dramatically since the Second Vatican Council, and the Church was grappling with a multitude of challenges, both internal and external. One of his top priorities was to address the growing issue of secularization, particularly in the West. He recognized the need to re-evangelize a culture that had become increasingly detached from its Christian roots. He also understood the importance of addressing the clerical sexual abuse scandal that had rocked the Church to its core. He pledged to continue the work of his predecessors in promoting transparency and accountability, and in working to heal the wounds of the past. Tagle was also acutely aware of the challenges posed by poverty, inequality, and environmental degradation. He saw these issues as not merely political or economic problems, but as moral imperatives that demanded the Church's attention and action. His vision for the Church was one of a humble, compassionate, and outward-looking community. A church that was truly a field hospital for the wounded and a beacon of hope in a world often shrouded in darkness, navigating the challenges ahead. Tagle's papacy was not without its challenges. He inherited a church grappling with internal divisions, external pressures, and a rapidly changing world. Traditionalists within the church, wary of any deviation from established doctrines, viewed some of Tagle's pronouncements with suspicion. They yearned for a return to a time of perceived stability, resistant to any change they deemed too radical. The global political landscape, fraught with tensions and conflicts, also posed significant challenges. Tagle's commitment to dialogue and peace-building was constantly put to the test as he sought to navigate complex geopolitical situations. The rise of secularism, particularly in the West, continued unabated. Tagle recognized the need to find new ways to engage a culture that was increasingly indifferent or even hostile to organized religion. Despite these challenges, Tagle remained undeterred. He drew strength from his deep faith, his unwavering commitment to the gospel message, and the support of millions of Catholics worldwide who shared his vision of a more just, compassionate, and hopeful world. A legacy of hope. Despite the weight of the papacy on his shoulders, Tagle remained a beacon of hope. His papacy was characterized by a deep commitment to dialogue, a profound sense of compassion, and an unwavering belief in the transformative power of God's love. He challenged the Church to move beyond its comfort zone, to embrace the peripheries, and to encounter Christ in the faces of the poor, the marginalized, and the forgotten. He reminded the world that the Church's mission was not to be served, but to serve. Tagle's legacy would be one of bridge building, of fostering understanding and reconciliation in a world often torn apart by division and conflict. He would be remembered as a pope who listened with his heart, who spoke truth to power, and who never lost sight of the inherent dignity of every human person. His papacy would serve as a reminder that the Church, despite its flaws and failings, remained a powerful force for good in the world, a beacon of hope in a world often shrouded in darkness. A new chapter unfolds. As the sun began to set on Rome, casting a warm glow over St. Peter's Square, a sense of anticipation hung in the air. The faithful gathered, their voices hushed in prayerful expectation. Pope Tagle, a figure of quiet strength and unwavering faith, emerged on the balcony overlooking the square. His words, imbued with a sense of hope and purpose, echoed across the ancient city. He spoke of the challenges facing the Church and the world, but also of the immense possibilities for good that lay ahead. He called for a renewed commitment to the gospel message of love, compassion, and justice. As his words faded into the twilight, a profound sense of hope filled the air. A new chapter had begun, one that promised to be both challenging and transformative. The future remained unwritten, but one thing was certain. The Church, under the leadership of Pope Tagle, was ready to embrace the challenges and opportunities that lay ahead, guided by the unwavering belief that with God, all things are possible. Please subscribe to our channel History Documentary Hub for more insightful videos and intriguing content.